Hello everyone, hopefully you are safe and doing well at your home. Now we are starting with our second part, that is applications of uniform circular motion. Okay, now here first application we want to study here is vehicle along horizontal circular track. Okay, what do you mean by uniform circular motion? Hopefully you remember it. That is the motion of particle along the circumference of circle with constant angular speed. Okay, now here first example, suppose we consider a vehicle is traveling along horizontal circular track. Okay, now in that case, suppose we consider a vehicle is having mass m and traveling along a horizontal circular track of radius r with a speed v. Okay, as shown in figure, you can see here, that is vehicle is traveling along horizontal curved road. Weight of the vehicle is nothing but, as mass is m, weight will be mg, that is acting vertically downward, and the normal reaction on the vehicle will be vertically upward. The necessary centripetal force for the vehicle along the circular track will be actually towards the center of curve, and that necessary centripetal force will be provided by actually force of friction. Okay, that will be along the radius of curve and towards the center. So here the necessary centripetal force for maintaining the circular motion of the vehicle on the circular track will be actually provided by force of friction between tire of the vehicle and the road surface. Okay, as you already know, centripetal force in terms of linear velocity is equal to mv square upon r, where m is mass of vehicle, p linear velocity, r radius of the circular track. Okay, now here force of friction, that will be actually force of static friction, so that is actually equal to mu s into n. Mu s is coefficient of static friction, n is the normal reaction, and this normal reaction in magnitude is actually equal to weight of the vehicle mg. So mu s n, so n will be equal to mg, therefore force of friction will be mu s mg. Now as the vehicle is traveling, necessary centripetal force is provided by force of friction. You can equate both the equation, so centripetal force equal to force of friction. As we are equating the equation, we can get here mv square upon r equal to mu s mg. Now both side m you can cancel, so next step we are getting v square upon r equal to mu sg. As you are writing expression here for v, that is linear velocity, so v equal to square root mu srg. So this is nothing but actually the expression we are deriving for the maximum safe speed of the vehicle traveling along a horizontal curve road. So that maximum safe speed is actually depending upon coefficient of static friction mu s, r that is radius of curve or circular road, g gravitational acceleration. Okay, so v linear velocity is depending upon three factors, but here g gravitational acceleration is constant. Okay, similarly r for the given curve road radius will be constant always. So actually linear velocity value will be decided by mu s, that is coefficient of static friction. Okay, and this coefficient of static friction is actually not a reliable factor, because coefficient of static friction will actually depend upon the nature of the surface. If the surface is dry and rough and tough, wear and tear of tire will be maximum. Okay, so here mu s value will be maximum and we will be getting maximum safe velocity, but that will result into wear and tear of tire. Similarly, if the surface is wet, the frictional force will become less because the surface will become slippery. So in that case, maximum safe velocity value will be actually decreasing. So this velocity is actually depending upon the nature of surface, that is mu s. So this is not actually a reliable factors. What you have to do actually, you have to decide certain particular value of velocity, so that you can put a board there so that all the vehicle can pass through that minimum safe velocity. Okay, so for that actually what is the need? What we have to do to exclude mu s coefficient of static friction from the expression. And here second application comes, that is vehicle on banked road. What do you mean by banked road, or what do you mean by banking of road? So this banking of road is nothing but process of raising the outer edge of road over the inner edge through a certain angle. Okay, for example, if you consider any curved road and you are elevating the curved road in such a way that outer edge is raised over the inner edge through a certain angle, that process is known as banking of road, as you can observe in the figure here. Similarly, the angle through which you are actually elevating the surface of that is outer edge of road over the inner edge, that angle is known as angle of banking. Okay, now why we are doing this angle of banking? Why we are doing this banking of road? So the purpose is actually to provide necessary centripetal force for the circular motion, and to reduce the wear and tear of tire, and to avoid the skidding, and to avoid the overturning of vehicle. That is all. The thing is actually you are excluding mu s coefficient of static friction from the expression. So what you will do? You will do banking of road. So what is banking of road here is elevating the road surface, outer edge is raised over its inner edge through a certain angle. So the angle made by the surface of road with the horizontal surface is known as angle of banking. You can observe here in the figure. Okay, horizontal surface, then the road surface, and in between the angle is known as angle of banking, and the process of doing this is known as banking of road. Next here, what you have to do, you will derive actually the maximum safe speeds with which a vehicle can travel through a banked road. For that we will consider again a vehicle. So we consider m as the mass of the vehicle, r the radius of curve, theta angle of banking, f force of friction between tire and the road surface. Okay, so you will consider actually here many components of forces. You can observe here, suppose we consider C is the center of the curve, R we consider the radius of the curve road, and this curve road is elevated by angle theta, that is angle of banking. As the vehicle is now here on the inclined surface, you can observe that all the forces, that is the component of the forces, will be actually shifted by value theta. Now here weight will be again actually acting vertically downward. So weight of vehicle mg is acting vertically downward. Similarly, normal reaction will be vertically upward here. And if you consider force of friction between tire and the road surface, that will be actually towards the center along the radius. Okay, so we will consider different components of forces now here. So you can observe in the figure now. Suppose we consider a vehicle on the bank road which is having angle of banking as theta. The weight of vehicle mg is acting vertically downward. The normal reaction is actually the normal to the surface of road. Here the surface of road is elevated by angle theta. So the normal reaction will be shifted by angle theta. So here n is the normal reaction which will be perpendicular to the road surface. If you consider vertical original component of n, that is actually shifted by angle theta. So adjacent side of n will be n cos theta and opposite side will be n sin theta, as you observe in the figure. Similarly, if you observe here, the force of friction F will be along the radius towards the center. So this force of friction will be actually shifted by an angle theta again. So again here two components of force of friction F will be, adjacent side will be F cos theta and opposite side will be F sin theta. So we are getting here many components of forces. If you consider here vertical and horizontal components of forces, you can consider actually two cases, that is the resolving of the normal reaction. So if you consider resolving of normal reaction is actually resolved in two components, horizontal and vertical component. vertical component is n cos theta, horizontal component is n sin theta, and the original is n. Okay. Similarly, you can consider resolving of frictional force. So frictional force F is resolved again in two components, horizontal component F cos theta, vertical component F sin theta. Okay, so together all the components, if you are collecting, it will be making the figure like this as shown here. Okay, so you can observe the direction of forces, you can balance the equation. So if you are observing weight mg together with the F sin theta is balanced by n cos theta, that is vertically upward force is balanced by total vertically downward force. So you can write your equation as n cos theta equal to mg plus F sin theta, that is vertically upward component we are equating by total vertically downward components of force. So if you are writing mg expression, mg will be equal to n cos theta minus F sin theta, right? That we are taking as equation number 1. Next here, similarly, if you consider horizontal components of forces towards the center, so that are actually n sin theta and F cos theta. So these are the forces which are along the radius towards the center of circular track. So that forces will be play the role of necessary centripetal force. So that together will be nothing but centripetal force. So you can equate the equation n sin theta plus F cos theta equal to mv square upon r. Okay, so mv square upon r equal to n sin theta plus F cos theta, right? So this is your equation number 2. What you will do next, suppose we are dividing equation 2 by equation 1. So we will divide left hand side by left hand side, right hand side by right hand side. So if you are dividing the equation, you can cancel m, and remaining term here will be v square upon rg equal to n sin theta plus F cos theta divided by n cos theta minus F sin theta. Next, what we will do, suppose we consider the maximum safe speed of the vehicle here. So the force of friction will be maximum here again. For that thing, so we are replacing v by v max, that is maximum velocity, and F will be actually force of friction, that will be maximum force of friction. So we are here only changing the notation in the expression accordingly. So v max square upon rg equal to n sin theta plus fm cos theta divided by n cos theta minus fm sin theta. Next here, you already know force of friction is equal to mu Sn, that is coefficient of static friction into normal reaction. So you can put the value here. So instead of Fm, we can write here value mu Sn in the expression. Then what you will do here, we will divide numerator and denominator of right hand side by n cos theta. Okay, so we are getting the expression here. Left hand side v square upon rg is same. The first numerator, that is n cos theta, we are dividing by n sin theta, we are dividing by n cos theta, plus second term of the numerator mu Sn cos theta divided by n cos theta. Similarly, denominator first term n cos theta divided by n cos theta minus mu Sn sin theta divided by n cos theta. You can cancel here n cos theta terms. So remaining, if you observe here, sin theta upon cos theta, we will be writing it as tan theta, plus only mu s is left here divided by nothing is left, that is actually 1 minus mu s, again sin upon cos will be tan theta. So this is the expression we are getting here for velocity, for the maximum velocity. If you are writing v square max equation, you can multiply rg here on the other side. If you are writing only v max expression, you can take square root of the whole term in the right hand side. Okay, if you consider here friction is very less, as we are already knowing that coefficient of static friction is not a reliable factor, so we should eliminate here. So if we are eliminating mu s from the expression, so we are putting it as 0. So v max equal to rg tan theta plus 0 divided by 1 minus 0. So we are getting actual expression V max equal to square root Rg tan theta. So this is nothing but maximum safe speed with which a vehicle can travel along a banked curved road. So these are two applications here we studied for the circular motion. Okay, so the next application we'll discuss in next lecture, that is the in part 3. Till that, best of luck. Thank you.